Take three. Yes, Cindy, you have a habit of stating the obvious. I like to give it a little bit sometimes. I'm not saying that I quickly went to the bathroom. I'm not saying that. Oh, damn. Our Halloween show for Worldwide Ramblings. Another attempt. We've already done our major topic. That's up in a separate video now. Bob Joyce allows a big media expansion. All right. So check that out. If you came in late, and share that. Yes, share that. See if you can share that in various places that you are affiliated with. I would appreciate that, and let me know, and I'll thank them on the air. I will. I will. I will. I will. So you're like the only one here now. There's actually seven, but let me see here. Yeah. Don't tell me the chat froze. Oh, please. Please don't tell me the chat froze. No, there's Nancy DeMarco. I was getting nervous here. Back, let's pray quickly. No more glitches. We're going to have to take a look at this tomorrow, Andy and I. There's a couple of things he mentioned that we'll try. It's like, when there's something like this, you have to rule things out. We have a new router. We have a new modem. It's not that there's a hard line coming in here. I'm not relying on a Wi-Fi signal. Laura Shadley joins us. I'm back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nancy, I'm going to show your pretty face now, okay? Okay, KK? Some of you are sending in pictures. I've got a couple more to get to. If you allow it, I will be glad to do it. Let's see here. Why am I using my phone for this? I don't know. Oh, yeah, because it's on my phone. I don't have it on Google Photos yet. And you know me, I can't roll something in live. I'm too inept. But yet my lives are better with my limited tech skills. Well, I guess having some experience in the field always helps. Let's see here. Yeah. Let me see. Okay. We're good, Nancy? You didn't have a change of hat, did you? Put a face to the name. You never know when you do this live, but that's not too bad, right? There's Miss Nancy DeMarco. There she is. And here she is with Jean Ho. Sorry for the lines as I took a picture of the screen. I know it's not perfect, but there's Nancy with Jean Ho, who we talk about. He is the source that announced Pastor Bob's big media expansion via AM and FM radio. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. She said she just loves Jean Ho. He does seem like a wonderful man. I, of course, have only talked to him, never met him in person as of yet. We went to the Colonial today. Here's the best waitress in the world. If you think you got the best waitress, you don't, because you don't have Carmen Gigi. Here she is today in her costume. It's Carmen. Known her for 30 years. She'll be retiring at some point. She's got rollers in her hair. That's the Colonial Diner. That's Carmen. There's a good shot. just come in a little bit. Yeah, Karen and I went there after we did our chores. Oh, she got her car inspected and it finally passed. The car that she drives maybe 50 miles a year, she had to drive it like 50 miles to get it to pass the emissions test, even though the check engine light wasn't on. Such is life. That's done for another year. So, yeah, cool. Very cool. Let's see, I got some other interesting things in the email that we'll get to, so don't go anywhere. Happy Halloween to you. Let me see here, my shirt. I've worn it before. My blood-soaked tuxedo shirt for this Halloween. We've got Barnabas Collins behind us, Mr. Jonathan Frid, high atop a hearse, holding a jar that said blood on it. He was a vampire, and he was on a promotional tour, and they had this hearse for him, so he just climbed on the roof. And it was like the Beatles were in town. Kids were everywhere, and their moms and what have you. It was big, big, big. I hope 3 times. The third time is a charm, Miss Cindy. I do. But we've got to work on this. We had no problems for a while, mostly, and now I have a feeling. I've got a feeling everything may not be all right. So we've got a mere 12, how many times can this happen? But I'm appreciative. And hello, replay crowd. Please hit the subscribe, the like, and the notification bell. That would be swell. I'd appreciate that. We're getting ready to say goodbye to October. And November 5th is getting closer and closer and closer. So I'm feeling good about it. I think God is in it. I think we'll do okay, but I'm very worried about the counting and what have you. Already, I think it was the Attorney General in Michigan. Yeah. There was some early voting irregularities that were noticed. And there's another state, too. I don't want to confuse my attorney generals, but they're both young females, and they're both obviously not for Trump. You can tell. And the other one got called up on 2 things, and the reporter said, "So are you going to resign?" And she said, "No, I won't be doing that." You got to throw her out. You got to throw her out. We just can't have this. I'm worried about Maine. The young AG there, she tried to throw Trump off the ballot. She didn't care. Oh, you elected me. Now, I know that many people in the state, many of the people who elected me, perhaps, are for Trump, but you think I care about you? I'm here for me, and I don't like Donald Trump, so you can't vote for him. This is the sickness that we have in the XYZ generation, especially the Z and the XYZ, the Y and the Z, but there's some fine Ys and Zs out there too. Thank God, that we were raised right, and realize that free speech is a commodity. You guys come along and you try to destroy the United States of America and free speech, the Constitution and everything with it. So, getting Trump in there will give us some more glory days. That's what I'm hoping for. Carmen Sylvia from New Zealand. Hi, Carmen. You can see Carmen Sylvia's channel right here on YouTube. I made it. I'm glad you did. What time is it in New Zealand right now? I lose track, I lose track. Marty is back too. 3 times a charm. I hope so. But we got to look into this. We got to look at some other theories that my tech guy Andy has, and we will, because if it were left up to me, forget it, forget about it. Just looking over at my notes. So we thanked people like Dennis from Boston, my cousin from Boston, Denny from Boston. Uh, does he really live in Boston? I can't remember now. But he hit the thanks button in a pre-recorded video. I think he often does that. Also on the Cash App, Nancy DeMarco and Lucia, Lecia, last initial T. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Sammy and Jody Smith, my goodness, can't thank them enough. And, that's what helps us get over a certain threshold of what I really need to make. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. Yes, I'm in trouble. Lindsey Buckingham, remember? And the Cash App, by the way, in lowercase letters, is Media Guy 56, MEDIAGUY 56, Media Guy 56, lowercase letters. All right. So, yeah, watch the, if you didn't see the first part about Bob Joyce's media expansion, which I think Gene Ho is playing a major role with, check that out. Check that out. Will television be next? Will he, you got to make it look good. You should have an announcer. I did that for my pastor at Goodwill Church, Pastor John Torres. He wanted the show to be called Keep Your Eyes on the Road, and we used a song from someone who went to the church, Judy Songer, and we used a portion of that, and I wrote the open and the close for the show, because you're taking what may be a 47-minute message and you're bringing it down to about 27 minutes, something like that, because you got to be out usually by 29 seconds. So I would do the open, I would introduce the pastor, then I would come in at the end and give some further information and say, thanks for joining us for Keep Your Eyes on the Road with Pastor John Torres. Yeah, we got into the New York City market with that show. We did. And a number of other states as well. So, but I couldn't make TV happen. He was kind of into it, but it's expensive, especially if you're going to go for commercial TV. Very expensive then. But and you have to have things that you're going to you have to have those little commercials and stuff, In the case of Pastor Bob Joyce, it would be his CDs, for example. I don't know when that book's coming out, but we'll be anxious to read it should we still be living. I don't know. That's in God's hands. Pastor Bob, therefore, is who? Alvis? So we are up to 20 right now, and 7 likes. Yes, hit the like button, please. And I've lost my rhythm, not that I really ever had any rhythm, but I have rhythm in terms of my content and delivery. We got rid of the big one. I want to check out some things on the email. We're getting some interesting emails this period, the month of October. And let's go there, huh? Susan Safiati sent me email number 72 for the month of October. And it's about Bob Joyce. She's sending me to Bob Joyce. I think it's a video. I'm not going to hit it because it'll start playing. Some of these short videos that are done by God knows who that appear on TikTok and then are copied over here. They are ripe with misinformation. Now, I hate to use that word misinformation because that's how they try to quiet free speech. But what I'm saying, they don't have their facts right. It's not Gene Hayden saying Gene Hayden played piano at Household of Faith. His name is Gene Harden. Some people confuse Joe, the former, I don't see him anymore, the former bass player in his bib overalls. So, well, there's Glenn Harden playing bass. No. Glenn Harden is rich and getting up there now. And he was a smoker. I hope he's not a smoker anymore. But he doesn't wear bib overalls to church, you know. So then, we'll check that out. But beware, we have a whole video up on that. Bogus information that's being just let out, and that it doesn't mean anything to some of the original TikTok producers that did it. They're just looking to make money, but it should mean something if you have a reputation on the line. Just saying, we can all be wrong, and I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. So we heard from Pam Donnelly saying that we have froze up on a warm night like this. Imagine that. I literally thought about bringing the fan in. Right now, it says it's 69 degrees. I don't know if that's the current temperature or it just didn't reset itself, and I don't want to mess with that. But that's how warm it was today. We were like 81 degrees today on Halloween. Back in 2011, we had a snowstorm on Halloween. Global warming right there. There, see? Pam Donnelly, as James Gregory, the late comedian, said, he did a bit on global warming, and he said a lot of talk about global warming, especially amongst the younger people, global warming. And let me tell you something. Don't worry about it. For as long as I have been alive, it has been hot in the summer and cold in the winter. And this will blow your mind. But some summers are hotter than others. Some winters are colder and snowier than others. He was a gem, James Gregory. Check him out. He's all over YouTube. Cynthia Ratliff, not Cliff. I wanted to say Ratcliffe, but it's Ratliff, right? Said we were frozen on Halloween as well. Another one from Susan Safiati. And now we have Teresa, 2 emails. She wants us to investigate it. She said this before. I better look at it a little bit. Chewy Thompson, will you please check out Chewy Thompson? He is supposed to be Elvis's grandson. I live in North Carolina, she says. That's all I'll say about this because I don't know, if she wanted me to read. The emails are private, so I'm being careful here. I'll look at Chewy. We have a rash of grandchildren, love child, sons, and what have you. There's Elvis Presley Jr., and there's the other guy, what's his name, who's making the rounds right now saying he has DNA proof that he's Elvis's son, but there's a video up that tears apart the possibility that he could be Elvis's son. And I mentioned that in one of our more recent videos. So I'm not sure right now exactly what the details are. But Teresa wants me to check out Chewy. See, I can only do so much, though. I can't get the blood work. I can't get the DNA, that kind of thing. So I can't promise you satisfaction, but I will look at it. Nancy DeMarco gave us a Pastor Bob update, which we obviously used. And there's a Cash App for a whole lot of money, but it's going out and not in. It's coming from me out. One of my responsibilities there. So you see, we heard from Chantal, not Chantel, but Chantal. She's telling us about her visit to Household of Faith, and I will share that. Very soon. People love to hear those stories. They love to hear those Household of Faith stories. And let's see, we have Tunnel to Towers thanking me for my reoccurring donation. What a wonderful operation Tunnel to Towers is. And so I give I think $11.67 a month to tunnel the towers. If you throw in the extra 68, they ask for $11. Of course, they'll take a lot more. They have so many projects and so many needy veterans, etc. The families of veterans that were killed in combat, too. But then they say if you put in an extra 67 cents, it'll help with, your donation being used in full. So that's good. We heard from Maryland in the Lone Star State. And Tony Anderson from Scotland. Hi, Tony. Are you watching? Still trying to get your whole email. It comes up in like it's a heading, like you made it the title. You made your email the title, and of course you can only put so much in your title. That's what it looks like. So I'm not sure I can get the rest of that. I may have to email you back, and I will email you back. I have before, so I will again. But thank you, Tony. I'm not ignoring you. There was another one that I wanted to. My friend Sean sent me information on the October European holiday with Jimmy Sturr and the orchestra. Jimmy Sturr in October of next year is going to Italy. They're going to be in Rome for a couple of days and somewhere else. I think you might have to fly to Rome. This is not going to be a cheap one. I don't know anything more about it yet, but he gave me the formal flyer on it. And we won't be going. I can't afford that. I don't even have a passport. No. I'm trying to eke out a living on YouTube and have a lot of fun doing it. It's a lot better than working at the Honda showroom as I did for 6 years. When I was semi-retired, I was working full-time at Honda, but it was good for me. I lost weight. And, there's always that in-between time when you're not eligible for Social Security, and you need another job, and I needed one. And it wasn't a bad gig. I bought my car at Honda, and they liked me because I was their cleaner, So I never did physical work like that before, so it was good for me. So then there's JMC. He showed me some more pictures. I'm not going to comment on them yet, but he sent me pictures of a gentleman he thought was either Bob Joyce or Robert Wayne Joyce, and was surprised when I said, no, I don't think it's either one of them. I don't think it's Robert Wayne Joyce. And if you've been watching me for any amount of time, I believe strongly in the two Bob Joyce theory. There's Robert Wayne Joyce, who would be about 73. And there is Pastor Bob Joyce, who might be 89, not far from 90. Or I could be wrong. I could be crazy. I think you could find some women out there that would say I am. I mean, my own therapist had a nervous breakdown and went in the hospital. Maybe I was too much of a burden. My therapist needs to be unburdened. So here we are, and I want to be your president, and I am going to serve you up a word salad. Don't ask for details. I couldn't give them to you. I'll even admit that I couldn't give them to you. I don't know anything about that, but I'll get a team. I'll get a great team. It's like training on the job to be the president of the United States. Now, occasionally it works out. Donald John Trump, because he had all that business experience, see? And he had all that negotiating skills. She no gots. We know who she is. Please. Poke Salad Annie. Babe, it got your granny. No, it's not Babe. Pick me a mess of it. Poke salad. It's about all we had to eat down on the farm. It's about all we had to eat. Elvis did a kick-ass version of Poke Salad Annie, didn't he? But Tony Joe White, that was his one and only hit. And he did a wonderful job with that song. Don't you think? Mikhail Gorbachev, Michael G. Mikhail Gorbachev Jr. I bet it's still humid down there, Cindy. Is it, Cindy, or has it cooled down? It must have been. If it was 81 in New York today, it had to be hot there. You probably wanted well, you're not back to work yet, so my hideout in the bank vault joke won't work. How you doing with your health, Cindy? David Tanner, martial arts. Cool mask you got on, Jack. Handsome and scary at the same time. Ha 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 ha. Oh dear. Where are you from there, David? Where are you from? David Tanner. Oh, I remember you now. I didn't know you were into the martial arts. I better be careful here. Oh dear. Oh dear. Latham, New York. Now I remember. Yes, you're in the capital region, right? Troy, Schenectady, Albany. I wonder if Jack's Bar is still in Albany. There was a place called Jack's. I never went in it. I did go into the Egg, though. I think I was in the yolk part when I sat down for a concert. I was in the yolk part of the Egg, I think. I'm not sure. Oh, dear. You can't be a great-grandmother now, Carmen. You're too young. Cindy says, hopefully we'll get some rain soon, huh? Over a month with no rain. It's been the same in New York. We had just a little spatter of rain, but we're not missing it. We had plenty of rain in, recent months. And, we're not going to have a drought situation like they would have in California. But yeah, you can't have to worry more about fires when everything is so dry. So dry. But anyway, as I was saying to my friend SMC, this to me is Robert Wayne Joyce, 73 years old, perhaps now, with Walina. It's not the guy you showed me. It's not. An older version of him. Did he start to look more like Elvis Presley, but different from the current pastor in Household of Faith? I think so. First of all, we'll see him when he was really young, and he was in the army and in Germany, but it's not the current pastor, obviously. Think about it. That's, as my acquaintance of the past, JJB said, that's the biological father for Matt and Sabrina and possibly Tom. This is a wild story, It's wild. So, what about if he's older? I speak of possibilities. Maybe my eyes deceive me. And by the way, my eyes adored you. I'll try to sing the song when I'm 90 years old. Some say I'm lip syncing. Oh, come on, Frankie. Enough is enough, buddy. Enough is enough. I mean, I saw him in 2005 with my second wife, to sing Hit the Road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Yeah, you know the song. Ray Charles, don't do any better than that. You can't do any better than the late, great Ray Charles. But Sabrina got married, and she's a wonderful book writer. She has books that you can find on Amazon. Sabrina Joyce McDonald. Definitely want to get McDonald in there. And she also had some YouTube videos up, and I think she's got a natural talent. So I hope she does more of them. I have to see what she's been up to. I'm sure she'll be thrilled, right? For me. But so she got married, and if you look in his eyes and what have you, it does not look like the current pastor to me. It looks like perhaps Robert Wayne Joyce, older, who still has the beard, but now it's white hair. Kenny Rogers look. So popular. The gardener at Graceland has the Kenny Rogers look, but he's not Bob Joyce. Oh, I saw Bob Joyce raking the leaves at Graceland. No, you didn't. Anyway, here we are. Whoa, right? So there's a definite similarity there. There's a definite similarity. But a definite difference. A definite difference. And let's see here. I always want to show this picture from Hugh Hefner, and I never get to it. So don't let me forget. You know, when you look at the pastor at Mar-a-Lago, pastor from Benton, Arkansas at Mar-a-Lago with Willina and a billionaire couple. It's different. Who does that gentleman look a lot like? You know? There you go. So we've been covering this. Watch my video, The Verdict, my most successful video. 200 and what thousand? 69,000 going to 270,000. For me, that's fantastic, you know? Fantastic. It's fantastic. Ever since I came down the escalator, they have been trying to weaponize the Justice Department even when I was at the head of it. So men can have their folly and they can have their be the naughty boy forever. But eventually this will happen and you've really got to change your behavior before you are no longer breathing. There's the last picture known of Hugh Hefner, snapped on the sly. The last picture that is known of Hugh Hefner. Okay. Yeah. Your time runs out. Can't send up a storm forever, you know. And what I found very fascinating is that, did I say this on the last live show? That a year or two before his death, he knew he was getting old, you know. He had his bodyguard fill up all his videotapes because every room had a camera. Fill the casket up with his videotapes, and they were placed on a boat, driven to the middle of the deep sea, and with an anchor of something to weigh that down, they dropped it into the sea. Hefner didn't want his life being seen by others when he passed, and he didn't want to hurt the many people that went to the Playboy Mansion. So there you go. What do you think about that? Boyd is here, huh? Hello, Boyd. Where are you? And David James, the David James Band. I'll get it right. The David James Band. What kind of music do you play, David? Good evening, Jack from Southern Ohio, right along the mighty Ohio River. Yes, yes, yes. One Hip Chick is here. I know that because Jody said it. She said, hello, One Hip Chick. And how are you, One Hip Chick? I didn't see you the first time around. If I miss you, it's not intentional. It's not intentional. Jack, should we get Herman Munster to help you so that the stream doesn't keep freezing? I don't know. He comes from a different era. You know, remember, you're going back to the 60s here. And what did they know? You know, they knew about 45s and 33s and cassette tapes. Yes, cassette tapes. Absolutely. Why did we have to change? I like the new technology. It's just that, oh my goodness, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. 77 here right now and full of mosquitoes. we got to watch those mosquitoes. There's a special kind that can really do you damage, right? So I hate putting that repellent on my skin. There's other things that you can put on that are better than the old. What was it? Off? Ooh, I couldn't wait to take a shower. If I had to put that on at a picnic or something, I'd go right to the shower when I got home for sure. For sure. 48 here. What the heck happened? Says Mikhail Gorbachev, Michael G. Um, are we actually having fall this year? It's been going from summer to winter the last few years. I guess you could say we had some nice fall days here in the lower Hudson Valley. I think we have. Um, but we're back to summer. We're back to summer, still in the 60s at night. As I say, I thought about putting the fan on. There's Boyd. I'm sorry I scared you, kinda. Yeah, he's scared. He scared poor Cindy. Be careful there. So I think I'm caught up. I still didn't see when you first spoke, Boyd, but that's just the way it is. There's 40 watching right now and 14 likes as we get ready to say goodbye here on the East Coast to October. We want to get November 5th out of the way, Renee, and we're hoping for the best. My Homage to Rush series, there's 3 parts up. I used the Rush Limbaugh theme song. On the second show, I play the whole song, which is all about Ohio. My City Was Gone. Chrissie Hynde fronting the Pretenders. I wish I could talk about his partner. Somebody know the name. I don't know the name, but he's responsible for those great guitar licks that Rush used for decades. And as I say, when I was in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and if I wasn't on the road with my second wife touring fairs and festivals, I worked security, and I worked at Carolina Cargo a lot. And so for some reason, I must have had a shift that started around, I don't know, 2:00 in the afternoon or something. I would drive in listening to Rush Limbaugh. And even though I felt so far away from New York, and that's where Rush was at that time, I don't think he had moved to Florida yet. He made me feel like I was right back at home hearing Rush Limbaugh. I know he was heard all over the country and beyond, but um, it was like educated, very educated macaroni and cheese, the best macaroni and cheese. Um, and we miss him. I miss him. I heard Clay and Buck today. They are sensational. It took 2 men to replace Rush. Definitely check out Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, noon to 3 p.m. East Coast time. Put that in your time slot. East Coast time, United States of America. I guess we're going to gain an hour Saturday night. We're putting the clocks back. I thought they were going to stop that stuff. But 2 a.m. will become 1 a.m. this Saturday night. Yeah. 2 a.m. will become 1 a.m. Oh, I see. Boyd Manila, whatever it is. I just want to change your name to Miller, Boyd, if you don't mind. Boyd Miller, that would be perfect if you were to go on General Hospital, for example. He's trying to scare us. Karen had her ghost shirt on, and there's a lovely picture that I want to show you in the thumbnail, maybe. I should have. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll put it as the thumbnail of this video. How's that? Yeah, I can find it. I've already got it up, and I will make. It's her granddaughter. It's her granddaughter on a swing. It's really cool. So look for the thumbnail to this video, and share the videos that are not too long. When they're too long, I don't think they want them up, but we do videos that are 17, 18 minutes, pre-recorded videos. So I I think we've got. I've mentioned everybody. I think I have, and yeah, there's always another love child and what have you. Now, if it's someone who claims to be the son or daughter, I'm being generic here, son or daughter of Elvis Presley, but they don't believe in the Bob Joyce connection, I don't know if I'm really that interested in, interviewing them, to be honest with you, because, you know, how can I put this? Delicately. These things must be done delicately. Forget it. Who's Bob? Yeah, who is he? Who is he? Who? Don't sing the long version of that song. Don't be naughty. So, yeah, here we are on Halloween, which is ending here. We got, I don't know, 12 to 15 kids, but as I said, Karen got the anxiety that we weren't going to have enough candy, and every other half the house, more than half the houses around here never put their lights on. They keep their house real dark, so whatever. People like to go to the big developments. They like to go to the rich side of town, and what have you. So if you live in a big development, they're driving those kids in. You could get 300-400 kids, and that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. They don't live anywhere near you, and they're being driven there. So that just does not seem right, Jody. Does not seem right. Yeah, it's about Bob and Elvis, right, Carmen? So, I assume Deborah Presley is the name she goes by. I don't know. I can't assume. You know what happens when you assume, huh? Tony Randall told us all about that. Now, one hip chick is trying to scare you. She's wearing her bell bottoms with vampires on them tonight. Yeah, she is. And she's got her skeleton ring. I'm trying to be creative on the spot. It doesn't always work. I mean, this is my third attempt here tonight. So, yeah, that worked out good. You can see Barnabas, Jonathan Frid pretty good now. And my bag from ShopRite with the ghosties, the skeletons on there, right? I put some effort into trying to be Halloweeny. See, I just believe it's a time where, kids, like when we were kids, we wanted to go out and get candy and stuff like that. I don't believe dressing up as Satan is appropriate or a demon or something like that. I understand that point of view completely. The witch thing, no, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that, you know. But, you want to put on your Trump costume, or you want to be one of those action heroes that Robert Downey Jr. is always portraying, the Harris supporter that he is. He's looking old now all of a sudden, huh? He's not dyeing his hair right now, Robert Downey Jr. And I thought, oh, wow, he's looking older. So, you see Julia Roberts and all these. Of course, Sean Hannity is calling her a has-been now because he's not happy with her. She's doing a commercial for Kamala, and she read the book. Which book? She reads some liberals' books. Some of them are liberals, but you really have to understand that the Democratic Party ceased to exist now. For all intents and purposes and reality, it's the progressives versus the Republicans now. And Democrats just sit there like little, well, not tushy, but maybe something that rhymes with, I don't know. They just sit there and let their party be overtaken by these progressives, like Mr. Chuck Schumer. So I hope they lose the Senate come next Tuesday, and I hope we maintain the House. Let's keep Joaquin Jeffries far away from power, because I have to say this in my personal opinion. like the vice president. No soul, no core values, not very bright. You know, we could do so much better. There's so many wonderful, smart black people. If it must be a black person, it's supposed to be who's ever the most qualified. And if that's a black person, hey, General Colin Powell did a wonderful job. Put Leo Terrell in there. Do you see Leo? He's a smart, wonderful lawyer who comes on Fox a lot. I love Leo Terrell. He's one of my heroes, as is Candace Owens. I don't agree with her 100% of the time, but Candace Owens is very smart, and she has, you know, she puts so much into her channel. She used to work for, was it Rumble? And had a falling out with Ben Shapiro, who's involved with that. If I got the wrong channel, I do. It's not Rumble. That's Dan Bongino. It's the Daily, whatever it is. There's so many of them. So now she's basically independent, and she's on YouTube. But well, I won't say anything more. But she's always fighting battles, it seems, or accepting what happens sometimes when you are cutting edge. Tucker Carlson is here on YouTube, but that's just part of what he does on his own network, the Tucker Carlson Network. Love Tucker, love Candace, Larry Elder, another great man that would be great in the Trump cabinet. I don't know what role, but obviously Vivek Ramaswamy, very bright, and Tulsi Gabbard. She knows how to define Kamala Harris like nobody else. And she's been on doing a lot of speeches for Trump, and she is now officially a Republican. You know the old saying, maybe you've heard it, if you're not a Democrat by age 30, you don't have a heart. And if you're not a Republican by age 40, you don't have a brain. I like that one because I started out as a Democrat, registered Democrat. I'm not sure what I'm registered as now, but I have no problem telling you I voted straight Republican on Monday at the Senior Center because I looked at the candidates, and then I looked at the candidates on the other team, and it was an easy choice. Even if I'm not that fond of a couple of the people on the Republican line, I know that they're going to stand for the Constitution. They're going to support the president that I hope will be elected. 45 becomes 47. I hope that happens. And if you don't agree, that's cool. We're not here to shove it down your throat. So what else? There's nothing I can play off in the comments that I see. Oh, they've been talking about ending the clock change insanity for years, and they actually did it in the 70s. And then all the parents said, whoa, 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 my kids are out at the school bus in the morning in the pitch dark. That's going to happen anyway at certain times of the year. And it don't happen in the summer because they didn't even go to school then. Oh, they're trying to get school all the time in Georgia, I think. Yeah. And so when the people didn't want it, they're finding ways to. That's what it is now with the XYZs in government on your school board. Don't put them in there because they couldn't care less about the parents' rights. Yeah, I'm not talking about every school board. I'm talking about so many. And they'll shout you down and say, "Oh, you're being belligerent. Maybe you need to be arrested." We're going to label what your free speech has just turned into hate speech. That's our MO. Know that. It's very important election, and record turnouts, record Republican turnouts. But we got to watch these attorney generals and what have you, and the counting of the ballots. Oh boy, I mean, we got caught blind in 2020, but they're much more prepared now. But still, the Supreme Court overturned the attempt to go against Governor Youngkin, who just was trying to make sure that those that are not citizens don't vote. It's amazing. They're right blatantly in your face, letting you know they want illegal people, those that have not become citizens, to vote in this election, and they know that they're going to vote for Joseph R. Biden's vice president. See how I got out of that era? So that's what they want, you know. It's so easy to figure them out. They're not smart, but they are cunning. They are cunning. As my friend Tommy used to say, I may be crazy, but I'm not stupid. Sem Semi. Why did Elvis sign and use the name Bob Joyce in the 60s? I don't have any. I've never heard that, Sammy. Sem Semi. Sam the Man. Never heard that one. I have heard that people are a picture of Bob Joyce was signed Elvis Presley, but that's easy to fake, you know. I've seen that up online. Who knows? There's just so many angles. Talk about the Ingram angle. I got a lot more angles than here on this Bob Joyce story. It's just it'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. So yeah, I guess I've forgotten about that, Ted. They're just going to let it stand. Well, here is Tammy, also known as Randy. Hi, Randy. The Dems, remember, in my opinion, the Dems don't even exist anymore. There's some Dems out there, but they just let the progressives take their party away from them. Don't work for the same one we work for, Jack. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Happy Halloween. Signed, Randy. Happy Halloween to you, Randy. I'm glad you're here. You've been with us for years now, right? Years we've been hearing. I started doing the Bob Joyce topic in 2018, and that's when I met some of you. And Randy's one of them. Randy's definitely one of them. I don't know if it was 2018, but whenever it was, it's been a good while back. Back yonder. Oh yeah, send me an email, Sammy. You know the address, Jack the Fair Guy, Fair, Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. I know you thought I was going for the Bible, but not yet. So as I said, you know, I don't worry about kids going out trick-or-treating and what have you. We all wanted to do that. We all did that. So why should we try? Churches come along and say, well, we'll have harvest parties, which are usually pretty dull, you know. The regular Halloween parties that people throw are more fun than a lot of the harvest parties in small fellowships, you know. But you have to separate true evil from watching Frankenstein or a Boris Karloff movie in general. There's just something in our DNA where we enjoy being scared. And if they ever did a really good movie with somebody with the caliber of Steven Spielberg as the producer, executive producer, etc. If they ever did a Last Days movie, which see, they don't believe in this stuff, the opening up of the seals and what have you. I mean, that's scarier than anything Stephen King ever wrote. So movies that are just blood and guts and lots of cursing and stuff like that. Of course, Christians should be watching those. I understand that. But we do. Karen and I watched Dark Shadows, and we went to the original series from 1966 to 1971. There's two movies, House of Dark Shadows and Night of Dark Shadows. Night of Dark Shadows stars this man right here, David Selby. David Selby. He was at the West Coast Dark Shadows Remembrance a few months back. We would have loved to have gone to Burbank, but we just couldn't swing that. We can't swing that. I've been to Burbank many times, but that was many moons ago. I used to live in LA. Saw Johnny Carson in Burbank twice back in the day. So a more recent picture of David Selby. He's in his 80s now. David Selby as he is today. And so he has this book, Light and Shadows. Light and Shadows. David Selby began his television acting career portraying Quentin Collins in the daytime serial Dark Shadows in the late 60s. He came in around December of 68 and early 70s, appearing first as a ghost in modern times and later as a living person under a werewolf curse in the 1800s. Quentin was a complex, evolving character who lived in both the light and the shadows as the supernatural series shifted its storylines across the centuries. They were always going back in time, 1795 first, 1840. They even went ahead to 1995, and there were no computers, no cell phones. They just didn't know what it was going to be like. You can't blame them. Light and Shadows presents a collection of original poems and song lyrics composed by Selby that have been influenced by not only his Dark Shadows days, but also his experiences and emotions in life away from show business. He explores the joys and sorrows of the real world, endued with a sense of gratitude, a touch of whimsy, and a resounding hope for the future. Dozens of rare and previously unpublished photos from Selby's life and career are included in this book, Light and Shadows by David Selby. That was part of our goodie bag we got when we went to the Terrytown Music Hall to see three of the actresses that are still with us. 186, 176, and 163. That's the actress who played young Sarah Collins. She was there. And we have pictures with all of them. I'll be showing those again in the future. So there, I think we pretty much got it. But now Teresa Lee Leonard has come on, and she's talking to Ted and to Cindy. Sounds like almost like a sitcom, that would be Ted and Alice, wouldn't it be, Ted Richards? Huh. And the time right now, about 10 minutes after 12 here. Halloween is over here on the East Coast, and we have a ton of miniature candy. And I don't know. I'd like to just give it away, but it's like you're giving away something that's not good, for people. A little bit, moderation, it's okay. It's okay. So watch our main video that came out of this broadcast tonight with the title, if you're just coming on, Bob Joyce allows big media expansion. Bob Joyce allows big media expansion. That is up right now. Please watch it. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already. And if you can share that video, great. If you can hit the thanks button, great. That always helps us out here. Now we're just beginning a new month. Either now or 3 o'clock in the morning begins the climb in November. It's never ending because that's just how life is. It's a funny thing about those bill collectors and what have you. Every month they expect a payment, every single month, give it to them once and they expect it the next month all over again. My goodness. when I do read something, I always try to find something that the Lord would have me read. Sometimes it's instant and it's like, wow, it's so obvious. Other times I'm searching a little bit, waiting on the Lord, you know. Good things come for those who wait upon the Lord. When we accept Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, He delivers us from sin. He delivers us from the devil. But Jesus talked about the children of the devil in, as reported in the Gospel of John, the 8th chapter, beginning with verse 42. Jesus said, "If God were your Father, you would love me. If God were your Father, you would love me." We remember the scripture, "For no one comes unto the Father but through me." Words of Jesus. I came from God and now am here. See, when he speaks like that, that's where people say, see, that's not the Trinity. He's the Son, but he's not God. But you got to look at the whole counsel of God. Now, I'll stop interrupting Jesus. I have not come on my own, but he sent me. Why is my language not clear to you? Because you aren't able to hear what I say. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desire. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Yet because I tell you the truth, you do not believe me. Can any of you prove me guilty of sin? If I am telling the truth, why don't you believe me? He who belongs to God hears what God says. The reason you do not hear is that you do not belong to God. So not everybody is a child of God. Everyone's a creation of God, but not everyone is a child of God. And to thoroughly explain that, or to pretend that I could, I can't, and I don't feel the need to. That's not my job. That's my department. It's a different department. But Jesus is just a prayer away. It's like the Christmas gift. It can lay there under the tree with your name on it, but if you don't pick it up and make it your own, you haven't received it. You chose not to receive it. Oh, good night, Ted. I'm glad that you were with us tonight. I'm glad you were with us too, Marty. Teresa Lee Leonard, BG girl there, and Cindy, of course, and Pam, and Nancy DeMarco, and Carmen Sylvia from New Zealand, and Sam the man, going to send me some email, and Mikhail, Michael G, and Randy, been with us forever. Jody, I said, right? Boyd, and One Hip Chick, absolutely One Hip Chick. The David James Band. Oh, you play gospel. Used to play country. Gospel is much more rewarding. Amen. I can understand that. Do you do some Gaither music, do you? Or do you do more contemporary music? I used to play the stuff from the 90s, you know, Petra and so many. Steve Camp, Stephen Curtis Chapman, that kind of thing. We didn't get Shelley tonight? No? She'll be saying, I missed you. David Tanner. We had Richard Lyon early on, because this is our third attempt at the Halloween show. So we made the first part, which was really the second part. We made that the standalone video. So watch that now if you haven't seen it already. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jack Willard here. We'll do Worldwide Ramblings, I'm pretty sure, Saturday night at 10 p.m. East Coast time. Watch for the pre-recorded videos by hitting the notification bell. Subscribe, like, and just thank you for being here on this. Now it's All Saints Day, right? All Saints Day now, here on the East Coast anyway, of the U.S. of A. So have a terrific Friday. Have a blessed Friday, and I'll talk to you real soon. Good night, everybody.